Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be doing Caitlin's makeup. This look is like a kind of like a sunset with a bit of blue, I guess, like a blended out sort of smoky, I guess. I don't really know. But if you'd like to see how I created this look, then just keep on watching. So I'm starting off by filling in her eyebrows. I'm just taking the Inglot Brow Gel in the shade 16. For some reason, every time I do her right eyebrow, I go a little bit too low, but that's fine. We clean it up after anyway. I don't know how this happens every single time, but apparently it does. So then we're just going to zoom on in, and I'm going to start by cleaning up under that eyebrow. So I'm just taking the P. Louise Eye Base in the shade Rumor, as per usual, and I'm using this to clean up under the eyebrow. As you can see already, it's made it look more defined and more sleek and not as messy underneath. The left one is actually, her left, our right, is actually pretty good by itself, but for some reason, the right one, our left, is just, it wasn't a good time until I cleaned up underneath. And then I'm just applying this all over the lid as well. I do also go in after this, with a little bit more eyebrow gel, just on the kind of like arch of her eyebrow, just I felt like it needed a little bit more just to match up with the other one. And yeah, I don't know, sometimes when you've carved out the eyebrow, you can see the eyebrow a bit better because it's obviously neater, so you can kind of go ahead and apply more product where it's needed, where you might have not seen before. I also like to get this line underneath the brow really as straight as I possibly can, basically. So really take time with that. And as you can see now, I'm just filling in that arch a little bit more, but not too much. It was only a tiny bit. So now we're taking the Stacey Marie Carnival palette. I'm taking the shades Wifey and Guilty mixed together, more of Wifey, and I'm placing this throughout her crease. So I'm doing this from the outer corner all the way towards the inner corner, because we're going to have the blue product focus kind of all over her lid. So we don't want it to be like darker in the outer corner. We want it to be the same sort of color all throughout her crease. So I'm just applying that down in patting motions, and then I start to blend out the edges. So then when we put down the next color, it will be easier to blend. The next color I'm taking is the shade Lit, which is like a bright orange shade basically. And I'm just blending that up towards her eyebrows, and well, not fully yet. We're not applying it all over the eyelid. We're just starting to blend from that pink shade, and then we'll blend it outwards so we can see more of the orange. Again, leaving that, like making sure you've got the edges nice and blended. So then when we apply the next color, it's going to be easy to blend all together. As usual, just keep applying this until you get like the desired pigmentation. I also did go back in with a little bit of the pink color as well. Then I'm taking the shade Keen, which is a bright yellow shade. You can't really do a sunset eye without a little bit of yellow in there. So just applying this to the outer edges of the eye and using that as kind of the last blending shade. This, like the yellow, just makes everything pop so much more. Then I'm applying the 94 gel liner from Inglot on like a fluffy brush in like light patting motions, and I want the edges to be really diffused and blended out. That's why we're not using like a more defined brush. I'm using a fluffy one so it looks more defined, more blended. Oh my god, sorry. So then I'm applying the Peaches and Cream Mermaid's pigment mixed in with the Inglot pigment in the shade 113. These two shades together, literally, I'm so obsessed with it. Again, I'm using a flat fluffy brush, and I'm just patting this in really lightly, and I really want those edges to be nicely blended out. So I'm kind of just going lightly over the edges with the remainder of the product that's on the brush. Then to blend the colors together, I just take a little bit of Wifey on the same brush as I used earlier, and I just kind of blend over the edge of the blue shade just to make sure that you kind of everything is nicely blended together. And then I kind of go in with a little bit of the orange again, just until you're happy with the result basically. As you can see that like where the blue has ended, it's more diffused now and it blends more into the rest of the colors. Then I'm just going to be doing a wing. I thought this look would look really nice with a wing, so I get her to look straight ahead. I draw the tail of the wing and then we close the eyes and I draw the rest of the eyeliner on. This is just the Inglot gel liner in 77 mixed in with a little bit of Duraline as well. I do clean up this sorry, that's just my dog going out of the doggy door. I do clean this up with a makeup wipe when we clean up all the fallout and stuff as well. That way you can make the wing like super sharp. But yeah, I'm obsessed with what a wing looks like on Caitlin because she's got massive eyelids, so why would you not? Then I'm just going to be taking the Holy Grail lashes. These are in the style Extra. These, honestly, I've never tried these on Caitlin before, but I am obsessed. I'm then just going over to touch up the eyeliner. I always need to do this. I feel like it just makes everything look a lot neater. So definitely do that, and you can kind of, I don't know, it just looks a lot neater, and I feel like it looks more polished. Now, Caitlin did have a few eyelash extensions left. She was getting her refill done like the day after this, so she had a few, so I just kind of used a spoolie just to blend them up into the rest of the eyelashes. Then taking the P. Louise eye base again, just under the eye, I'm going to be patting this in, like not too, I don't want too much, so I don't bring it down too much. I'm just putting some of the 77 gel liner in her waterline, as it just makes her eyes pop so much, and it just, I don't know, I just feel like it looks really good on her. So I'm then just applying a little bit of the pink colour underneath as close to the lash line as I can, and then also a little bit of the orange, and then I'll do the yellow once I've applied the foundation.
Bacon is good for me.
Okay, now that we had our bacon sandwich snack, thanks Mum, I'm just going ahead and applying some of the Benefit Matte Rescue Primer all over her T-zone, as I just feel like I just like a matte T-zone. Then I'm just going in with the Laura Mercier Radiance Primer. This is kind of like a moisturizer with a little bit of a glow. I just think it looks really pretty on the skin, especially as I don't put that much foundation on Caitlin because I want to still see those freckles coming through. I really want the skin to be nice and prepped and moisturized and have a little bit of a glow underneath as well. Now the shade that I use in the Too Faced Born This Way foundation for Caitlin is the Golden Beige. As she like has got like that really golden undertone, this color is like perfect for her skin. It does look a little bit yellow when it first goes on, but once you've blended it out and once you've put on all of your other products, it's literally like perfect to an absolute T. So this shade's perfect for her. Maybe I should say perfect one more time. So I'm just blending that in with a Dirty 30 sponge. As you can see on the right hand side of her face, you can still see the freckles coming through. I just feel like she's got amazing skin, so I don't want to cover it up. I just want to add a little bit of coverage so it doesn't look too crazy that we've got like these hectic eyes and then like not much of a base. So I just feel like we need a little bit of something, but not too crazy because her skin is literally flawless. I'm going to be applying the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. This is just in the shade Custard. So I'm just applying this where you can see on the screen right now, and I'm just blending that out with a Dirty 30s, one of the little mini sponges, and then I'm just going to set under the eyes, or not under that eye sort of area, just with a little bit of the Laura Mercier Loose Translucent Powder, like I always do, and also in her laugh lines as well, and just really pushing that into the skin almost till it's gone. Then I'm just going to be taking the Bobbi Brown foundation stick in the shade Cool Almond. I love this shade. I think it suits so many skin tones, and I just use this with a stippling brush. So I use this like in the cheekbone, just under the cheekbones, around the forehead to bronze up that area as well. And then I go over and set the face with the Australis Fresh and Flawless in the shade Darkest Brown, and I'm just patting this into the skin. As you can see, I do use patting motions for everything. Then just applying some Hoola Benefit bronzer as usual. I'm again patting that into the skin because we don't like swirling. No. And then just taking some MAC Give Me Sun to warm up the face. Again, patting this into the skin. Then for blush, I'm taking what I always take, so the Warm Soul by MAC and also the Hot Mama by The Balm. These two just, I don't know, they just look so pretty together, and the Hot Mama one also just gives a little bit of a glow to the cheeks without it being too pink. Then I'm taking MAC Oh Darling highlighter. If you've seen my Instagram photos, this highlighter was literally popping in the photos. I was obsessed. I was like, oh my god, this is so good. Then I'm just going to be adding that yellow underneath because we didn't add it before, as I didn't want it to come down too far that I couldn't put much concealer on. Then just taking a little brush and just blending the P. Louise eye base into the rest of the foundation. In a corner highlight, I'm taking MAC Vanilla Pigment. I really like this because it's a highlight, but it's not too harsh. Like Nylon's a really good one, but it's pretty hectic. So this one's a nice one just to have it more of a subtle, I guess. Then I'm just going to be taking the MAC Strip Down lip liner and Yash lipstick because this is literally her favorite combo. She even has her own lip gloss because I got sick of trying to get the lip gloss out of the tube and put it on her and like put it onto a little palette and then put it onto her lips. So I was like, you know what? You get the same lip combo every single time. You can have your own lip gloss. So that's why you see me putting the lip gloss from the straight from the bottle onto her lips, which I don't normally do with clients, but Caitlin's at my house very often, so she has her own lip gloss. And it's just like I think it's just like clear gloss from Priceline. I think it's actually pretty good. It's not too sticky and it looks really nice and like shiny as well. And then I just apply a little bit of the Laura Mercier glow powder just to kind of give a little bit of an extra glow around her face, as I really want it to be nice and glowy for the photos. And then I'm just going to be setting the face with the Kat Von D setting spray. And here we have the completed look. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in my next one. Bye!